from all the conversations that you've had. Okay, and that's why I'm giving you highlight of the areas that we have for economy and development. You better education, you better healthcare, you better and food security. But my last question on the preamble of this conversation will be your foundation, your beginning. 22 years ago, Oba Ghana started business. A lot of people have asked, Ejuma Ben and now we and Sana Oba Beshe a real estate business, I say, real estate business no buy no na ye wo bebre e wo ho ye wo Akwaba estate ye wo Manet Court ye wo Manet Regimanuel ye wo estate bebre Tasako no nyina. But it seems that 2 decades now about what benyeska bebre this kind of FIFA.
So first of all, na me ye telecommunications and still business and any scrap na make no wo hwe abrochi scrap and na hwe Ghana scrabber e different. What you say? Horna misua senisia edinda de na de bebre bom for me into steel. Into some of my industrialization skills today no misua no na mindi 20. Me who say na de ankasa no o fabricate here etimi ye normal.
Now be fan na de ni figana.
There be and that de na wa bridge scraps. Okay. Now the cost scrap yard now they are boom.
It's your bruche now, scraps.
Yes, I had people even collecting for me as well.
At that young age?
Yes, I've always been a business-minded person. Until nipa be braid means some abu boom. So me kasa me share poultry farm as here. I'm 8-9 years old. Let me swap. Until yes, it's a Ghana 40 million abutre. No more share. Say, oh share Bill Gates, Monet, Zuckerberg, and Sanko for my ye be brave with Yatino. Omuswa pa no mu hye bibiase nti broni na ono wo hwe sakra no ohun se tumi bi woni mu ohun se nyansa bi woni mu nti ono an pushi na and through the exploration no to say wabeye the customer product for the world obia hunanim obia tinidin obia tenenoma na Beyonce tunum and so ebi o hye nyum aseto no we di 8 years old na nipa anhwe na omu nko akira anko se 8 years old na Beyonce shall say or pursue the destiny. And Tisana means we are the woman. 8 years, 9 years old, no, I was already into leadership. I believe Senko Formum Ebedimechi say Medimisika last never topoki and I ask you a more di no more to believe me say Aqua in your becca necessity, no becca necessity. That's what I do.
Who are your parents?
My parents is Kwale Elizabeth J. We have Kwale residence at airport or no, my no that dying hono. My papa so a late SK Bediako. Now he's one of the owners of Tata Brewery, a commodity trader, an oil trader. Until I grew up with my mother. My father lived in Accra when I was 11 years old. Then I moved from Kumasi to Accra. And that was the very time I may share school. I say one crying. Mitimi live the Accra life. Accra and Sana Mekwa Bruche for 6 years and came back.
Ukwa Bruche no edin fie saying 15 years. Yes. And then I do Ukwa Bruche.
Oh, it was just after O levels, and then I decided to go. Say I could continue college. And I mean, you are penny, crana, try to take it in mind. So my mom, my sisters, everybody, they were thinking, say I will go for 2 years. Maybe I may quite college. Kekanema samba back. I may call hono, and I may try. Yeah, college. We I may call university. Time I'm college now, I'm business. I'm call university no. Na me additional sepa, but na a juma woman so. Na capital aba meniso, na marketing aba meniso. Ti me share na university no make us me train 3 years, 4 years now. Omudi ama me to acquire a bachelor's degree in business studies now. Me share numbers now. Me say let me concentrate on my business. Ti enuti de ma. I concentrated on business and me realize this. By the time I drew my 20s, now my journey it's about creating wealth, business, and that's what I've been doing.
Into one pursue further educational.
I didn't get my degree in the university. I was quite brainy. I could have scored very well, but unlike Zuckerberg, who also left Harvard to pursue his dreams, I did the same. I pursued my dreams. My dreams was not to acquire a degree. My dreams was to add value to society and was to become extremely successful so I can control wealth. I can control money.
Unya skani nyina wie na. Aden na want to aso anko school.
Sika nyina nyina wie abeku.
but from where you've reached, the zenith that you've reached in life, academic laurels and so then you can say that yes, you've accomplished academically and financially.
I would also advise people that they shouldn't be greedy to want to have everything. You see, God does not give us everything. Obi oha no ho fepa or your ba and so new aduane no. Obi won so a ebia ne ho nya fe bebre ne ho fe kakra, but aduane obenoa amani kunu ne the family no. Etimi shape your whole life. Nti Nyankopon de onfa bibia aman. Kakra na wonim so obetimi asom no. A obekra na obeye ne ye fatal na suit no. Ehon na sese wadwene komo.
You said your late dad na oka the owners of Tata Breweries. Tata Breweries, one of the indigenous brewery companies, revolution time, you know. I think it was taking over and I say you diversify, yeah. But that time now you're very young.
Young, yeah.
Okay. Well, who papa's as an entrepreneur?
Oh, I always saw him as a businessman.
As a businessman.
My father was known. My father was very popular in Ghana. Very handsome man, very modest, very successful. You know, my mother,
entrepreneurship, no,
I think say, enya dia usheda ubibeti ma coach you. Say obeba be ye sikani na kwan say ne pesu enye sika. Eye you ask na etino say values or core values will lead you to entrepreneurship. Obi o ha ne values eno bi na okay. Say obeko school na ebia wenya aye to say degree na wakonya adwuma. Obi nso values ne say ono ankasa de obepe capital na waye ne business na wa expand it na wakɔ nim nti obi a on values sa values na wo na obe decide say values we na me de kɔ no eno ene be determine who you're becoming. Obi wonso a believe pe na woni mu say media me ginyame dipa nti nyame adwuma na sese me ye sa adwene no obefa so a e de akɔda ne sofo na ene no say eba entrepreneur ni san ma no ma ye bi na me ye wie no me hu say ekwan foforo da ho e ma me be ye industrialist visionary sa no ma we nyina ya mfa wo me nyini no e na me sua e na me divert
it did that day nyina wo ye Kwale's resident number 1 osu apartment any de na wo team so person ye president
there be beginning no na me nim sa because nkofo bi ka but omo kanso a na mesuma maka o metrim se na me de me fan akwa president politics do me intiase wo ka jem se assemblyman kra be nim ye but na me nim se emre bi beba it will be a calling. It was a calling. I woke up one day and I decided say metra man na e man na say ya meka ho and asa se me besi na e nyina e dwane e free kroma na bia be refugees there. Then I will step in.
Before I will be out, sir, with the new force, now we have seen you in what will be described as positioning yourself as a leader, you know, that you are seeking for power and the mandate from the people. It be a pictures, any videos, how what brand they will not just a one casano. Politics ni presidency ni governance and our government ade ana ye ode eye wo fe iti wankasa wo emblem wo wankasa logo wo coat of arms just say what creative wankasa wo state be at the amount. What was going through your mind at that time?
Oh, so share some o kan sisia utimu se na na go through my mind na more than being a president. Obi or no I creating an emblem. The president serves to an emblem. That is royalties. That is organization and an empire. And no man say, and I make dwene ho. And Crawford, my mentor, Obi to second Solomon, Obi to say Mansa Musa, Obi to say Kwame Nkrumah. Crawford say me show muso, and no more we been I am a fet. Na yes, a president Kakanipa Bepes Obi DNT, me quack emblem in this hammer. I believe, sir, I can build or I can help build. Me and my team can help change the world. We can bring value. Added value to humanity. But also it's important that the way you dress is sometimes how you are addressed. The way you perceive yourself is sometimes how people perceive your character. And your character becomes your image. Your image is finalized personality. And so these things are very important to me. People call it branding or marketing. I call it legacy. how to initiate it.
Okay, so now a new team so be president. Let me give you a little insight of African politics and government and leaders. They were all mentored, not only in Ghana, even across Africa, even in Europe, even in America. George Bush was mentored by his father. George Walker Bush was mentored by George Bush. Condoleezza Rice even mentored George Walker Bush. If you take, the Kennedys, they mentored Bill Clinton. Clinton mentored, Barack Obama. Oko UK, Magdalene Albright, your friend is Margaret Thatcher mentored John Major. Asana John Major Ebabeye Uba Ghana ha. Former President J. Kufuor was mentored by a friend saying this PF party. He was mentored. Buzia mentored him. Even in Ghana, Atta Mills was mentored by Rawlings. John Mama was mentored. Nana Addo Dankwa was mentored. It is to me answer preocupe na umbeye a leader of a country if you have not gone through the mill or the process. You have not served as an assemblyman. You have not served as a member of parliament. You have not served as a DC. You are a businessman. You have not been mentored in politics. How do you become successful if you have not been mentored?
Well, first of all the names that you've mentioned are dignified politicians. And as you described me, I'm a businessman who have woken up to say I'm going to become a leader. Now, listen to this carefully. I said I want to lead the country. I didn't say I want to be a politician. If I wanted to be a politician, then I would have gone through the process that you're talking about. I would have loved to become an assemblyman, maybe from there to an MP, become a minister, and finally become a president through my political ambition. But there is some skills that I've acquired in leadership. And leadership is the same thing that the politician needs. You can be a politician in a position, but your leadership skills that you've acquired is more needed for you to fulfill whatever promise that you've given to the people that you want to lead. Now, the difference between me and the average politician that you mentioned is that these people were not actually just mentored, but they were groomed to become a politician. Okay? I have realized that the African politics, with all the grooming and all the mentoring, the results in the past 4 decades, it's probably -0. We can't see the value that we have gained in the past 4 decades. We cannot say that this country still belongs to us. In the past 4 decades, there might have been some good governance, but most bad governance have made us lost the most. So I realized that Ghana, as a country, might not just need someone who is a skillful politician who will come to lead this country with a program that is already a template that everybody have been repeating and using. If that is something that would work, by now we would have seen a difference.
Okay. The 1992 Constitution ene emrapon a edibu oman so. Na se uka se nyesa wo pesa wo ye politician, but you want to lead the country. Ye be gina 1992 Constitution ye mrapon a edibu oman na ya hwe wo vision no any sign na the Constitution can capture your vision anyhow I will be to me lead it. One, since I will unye career politician but we a businessman but you want to lead a country, the governance, the system of governance, a judiciary, legislature, and the executive, structure nature say, only the 3 arms of government. The executive president, will govern the country with legislative assembly and as a parliament. Not just say, so to become a leader of this country, you need representatives in parliament. Vision when iswadi huno de beko na se o representatives no so omo koye majority dia na chese wa for the leader even of the majority ana in parliament eboa ma wutumi de o government policies ideas through the leader of parliament at the two parliament anim no ma pass na ababa ye adwuma it is upese wo your mampani wo man Ghana ha na uni representatives e wo parliament a ebe ye den na wani suade hu no watumi dia ye adwuma wa bra constitution ne kire se uhia mrahye bedwafo na age wani suade hu no atum na ya toso aba ansa na abaye mra. Without representatives in parliament, how would this vision come to reality?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say that, you know, having a political ambition through leadership skills is not illegal. And then if you are a businessman and you want to become a president, also the constitution does not stop you to do so. You can. You're allowed to. Now, talking about the parliament and all of this leadership, this is a template, a program, you know, a stipulated judiciary system, legislation and executive members that exist one way or the other. The only difference is that one man will be elected as a president through campaigning and a political party or an independent candidate. If that person can campaign themselves to become a president, it's likely that a lot of these MPs in the parliament can fall along his vision or can decide to move or cross this whole political succession plan that has put him in a position. Now, the art of doing that is what we haven't experienced in the past 40-something years. So as for the politics is there, the parliament, the judiciary system, the legislation, and the executive arm that you're talking about is there. The only difference that we haven't experienced is someone coming to either get into this existing duopoly who have been passing the ball to themselves for the past 4 decades. So as a country, we have been used to this type of governance for 4 decades. For me as a business person and a visionary, I can see a change happening if there is an actual change in the existing 4 decades governance that hasn't benefited us as a nation. And that is exactly the vision that I'm bringing onto the country and into the country. That change, maybe Ghana should also have a taste of a leader who thinks like a CEO for this country, who is a business person for this country. Because no matter what, you need to understand one thing, Mr. Beko. There are 2 types of people when it comes to money. There are the people who spend it, and there are the people who make it. So if Ghana is choosing leaders who know how to make the money, they would think of investment, they would think of development, they would think of job creation, they would think of building balances in the economy. But if they bring leaders who just know how to tap into our funds so they can distribute the funds to workers, to salaries, to judgment debts, to contracts, then when the money finishes, they have to go and borrow some more money to continue the habit. Then please let me finish. Then that leader doesn't know how to make money, but rather they know how to spend the money. And I think that's what we've gone through for 4 years.
4 decades, sorry. Sa duopoly ena ya go through sa for 30-something years.
39 years, so it's literally 4 decades.
And no na ya go through sa the ababedu since 1993. The ababedu sabri. Sesian ubeye mampenia said the mekaya no 275 members of parliament. Uhia emududu na ansana wani swadi hunu etumi abem. We have 2 major political parties in Ghana, the NDC and the NPP. Omunyina under the 4th Republic, Obia serve equal terms. NDC a serve first term of the 4th Republic, 1993 to 2001. MPP about 2001 to 2008. 2009 NDC about to 2016. MPP so about 2017 to now. Omunyina oma share no equal. MPP a serve 16 years. NDCs were serving 16 years. So the duopoly multi-party democracy is what we have, like the Republicans and the Democrats. It's an entrenched, multi-party democracy. Now you are coming with a new force as movement, not necessarily a political party. Where do you stand in the face of this growing, duopoly in Ghana? Where do you stand?
But I stand as the new force. I'm the new kid on the block, and with the new force audience, and we're coming with a force. The nation needs to remember that the youth of this country has been rejected and they have been robbed of their livelihood. They haven't had the chance to be a part of decisions. There's 78% of this country is jobless, and the biggest part of this population is 0 to 45 years of the entire population of this country. They are all jobless. So these are the people I stand for.
Me know we are doing, sir, we are the new force. Because NDC and MPP and the two major political parties. Now here doing say CPP the third force. Now so anye PNC and also anye Nkrumah is for no nanke the third force anye into probably the new force no wo One Alanche Martin, Munamuye the new force.
Please let me correct you. New force, it's our brand,
okay.
Our force. I'm coming. Let me correct you. Please,
I get you.
Relax.
Okay.
I will correct you. Okay. I know you want to ask a lot of questions. Don't worry. I'm here for you. Okay. There is Alanche Martin and what he's doing, and I respect that. But the new force is our force.
Okay.
The reason why you mentioned a lot of third forces came and they failed, because they chose the third position. So the first and second always were ahead of them. I am not a third force. I am a new force. I want you to get it right, because it looks like you haven't understood the whole branding, the whole force and the movement properly.
Okay.
And now I just want to break it down for you, since you're talking about the new force. The new force, we have a different way of sending our message to the nation. If you look at us for the past 4.5 months since we have come out, here is our sequential series that have gotten the nation's attention.
Yanka tree kakra.
Me say, so we new force. Charlie, Godfather, Father, I greet you, sir. Sorry, you're the only one we can pause the interview and greet. Thank you. You have done so well with UTV.
Yeah.
You've managed it very well. This is one of my favorite channels in the country. How I'm distributing content to the country. Ewo tree, ewo brofo, ewo bibia muno. What's a sa agronym? Inti mun koso, na mun di mbrane so sa, na mun fa facts enye adwuma, na mun tibi mbo amano. That's it. Back to your question, Abeku.
Mese na me kase yewo NDC ni MPP aye amanyuku kese mienu ewo Ghana ha na aye the new force ene Uralan Kwadwo Chematin ye fa ne se mo ye the new force because the new force not as a political party you mo ye the third force because your parties ni mienu into mo ye the number
third force. Okay, menya number 3. Okay, me the new force. Now the new force, the existing duopoly would have to face the new force, because we're not the third force.
It will be the first and a second.
I know the enya adia metna ha katro say na me babedi, because life is a marathon.
Okay.
It's not a competition.
Okay.
So I'm not here to compete with anyone.
Okay.
But I'm here to be part of the race of a journey that I walk. Okay, and I walk the walk that I talk. So new force, as a samutias say, strategy de buy first of all when it comes to campaigning. And now dear politicians say sequential series and ye de buy. Ya buy na nyabo train na obeti no ma bebre obebisa questions. No, don't worry abeku. Mini papa no na say dia high we dia maba wu ase. Enti wonso obenya mra mama now also wabisa me question. Na me pese me church nkofo ase what new forces. So we share a campaign kurana a sequential series. Okay. Yeah, the mask the bar first. No be a ye wie ye no ye san de broni bi ba say on be spokesperson for a movement na manfo bebre ka say hey politics se wo kroma entimi fa broni ba okwohwe no na ye movement we are allowed to do so na ye pese ye kire Ghana fo nso say sa abrofo na omo ba na ye sumo mo no omo so ye betima employ omo betima ye adwuma ma ye enti movement no sa message no na na ye ka wo hwe a eno be ye topic wo free ho no ye san de wo ko ba bi foforo ye de wo fa ha ne ye de wo fa ha ye de wo ko fa convention nipa saying ye de wo free Africa by 4 the strongest 2 politicians in Africa, the strongest columnist and activist on this continent. Ye di omu nyina ba krom ha ema ye cancel ye ema e be ye sky rocketed waves a wo hwe kra na ema me more popularity than ever. What you say? Ye free hono, ye ansen jai mumu, ye de mukosa, or china beti se, or we be say, oh, you see what the poor free yaba how, say na, and we are the one controlling the narrative. This is a new modern way of campaigning. And because of this, me person me explaining and crofoti as yes say. So mu say bia a domini di echi a omo ye nkra, and ye say bia ye na ye force omo so omo di echi because we have synergies. Until you are connected. Almost so time na aba no enkura nso ehun se campaign kura na beba politics mu no say ene ye no say ene de fa so say ene mani panya attention enti me dey me free say new force no emre we ya me tisa platform we so no eti say me use to sa emre we na me dey explain it chenkofo no mo hu say new force no say ya na tie enti mun try the next series mun try the next headline and media for na no mu create so one nia and dry see e be be ka hu later ye be ka Ghana web for asem ne e ka ba ko do cross your friend say pause Ghana ye be ka ni na later but we create the very good message for you and you need to make the best use of the message but instead a lot of people are attacking the messenger and the message is flying through with waves and it's influencing people.
Enti yati asese ni nyina enyuma na wahihye said you can no podcast mu sequential series
sequential
na se wahihye wo hyeda na wo hihye enyuma nyina
enye se yem finish hye is planning.
Okay, planning
adie ba ko nyankopon amfa ma yen eye planning wa my life ana wasan obesa kum obewu wo ye dan obewu
enti epo asam no a wo kan nyina no
we nyina me say unya life na say unya wo nso a na time pe na wo mfimfin say wantimi am plan ya o time no be useless enti planning na ye say na ye plan ye ho eno ano no na konia wo pese wo ko say me twa.
Okay, right, so Nana Kwame Bediako, the leader of the new force, and yet third force, but the new force.
Thank you.
Nani swadi hune se obeye omampeni obedi omai ano obeda omano nyese opese woye amanyo semuni enti wo amanyoku bia na hwe nani swadi hunu kura obetumi aba bedom sanete.
Oh yes, me preference. Say obi free MPP and I say NDC. No person join me. Ono so wone nani so ade kakra, wone nyansa bi, wo akokuduro bi say opeso oboa na esam emanima. They welcome.
If 2017 omampani nanado ebedi omanim, woti omamu ha, oye adwuma. Ya ante se wakasa afa amanyo semi governance ho se aban policy we enye ya ante se wakasa se cathedral aban AC emfaso bi ambam na sika ne edoso dodo ya ante se omampani wie mu hyen a oriented nam wie mu waka ho asem wa ante anan kra de omampani ba eye I think one event uni na shia pen oni omampani nanado achia pen woni swade hu ni de how ne wadwen wo nyina wamfa nto nanimu da eninti na eye the sequential series na wo ye no na omodwen so wo de wo ye leader bi a opese oje Africa emabunu we inspire nti na obi ankahwe kopim se wo ye se wo be convention ya say hey akoya se wo ko too far ya mane kwan ache afedie Sabe, Kwame Bediako yensi anenye dagati fujum.
Okay, FM. 1, 2,
Ghana Constitutional Day. Ena okwa akoye ne convention wasan frɛ PL Lumumba mo enemy your friend say Peter Obi omu nyina no ya eno babeka nti aban na hu se wo na eya amanyosem na wo ye no na office o freedom nti afei na my question is say did that day nyina say we na ye planning sequential series you never came out to criticize the current government administration or any policy that we know until you woke up one day and you say the new force.
So your question is, why did I not criticize?
Yes.
Okay. Any great person in this world that is into planning, concentrates on planning, they do not use blames to execute their planning. I'm not here to blame people. I'm not here to point the people's problems. I'm here to find a solution to move on. I'm here to learn from people's mistakes so I don't repeat it when I get to their time. Intermediate me free say or mine say criticization ne say gossiping and no my beke can say obinya no my ye obinya say ya and money betimi aka say sa no mpeso mo ye but many so adia no emfa hobby.
Okay.
Emfa hobby, yes. And I mean him say nipa so ye perfect. Obi o ha ayadwempa bi na odinam. But obi wura system ni mu no. Na enkrofo no mo system ni mu ankasa no ache no. Nti wentimi an control yo mu ye na ama enoma bi akọ senesi e kono.
Efibra uyi wanim say oni kandifo a woda new force anono. Abai ahaw ewo kwan bebre so de di kan nhyiamudie convention no amba so no eno twamu no yebeti se tax for GRA for tata yesi wuntua tax ene ade when mu nyina ensohwe a wo famu because wayi wanim se obeye amanyosem what na say adwen ho say ebia de da wanim no kura so say because u spokesperson ya pamo na fi krom ha o convention a wo koye ya stop you tax for also tata Kwame unhwe so na wonye o business na wonwe ho.
Okay, but that's ya beku say ebia utumefo say kai me lawyer ka asema abeka kire me an say mintua osika na ne ameye ni nyina no min sanse samadwene na min kobachi nkopa mi ba bi ntra so na ebia nka wagye misika dada say wo ye lawyer say wa da kwan ya wo de me fa so ni but asema me pese me kan say ewiase no a ye wo no adibia na mohu bia obetu bia efa dom ho efa nipa ho no unya na easy. So me share the story of Moses Kurana. I no was say what the Israelites for free crop akoso akokro foforo so no. We share a normal oko through and sana wotimi ayana. The only reason why wotimi ayana ne say enoma bia na ebetwe na ba fom bia no ono so hu ni say e opportunity. Obetimi dia ye bibi foforo. Obetimi afaso die suanyansa bia na woni before. Enti normal etotome no. Mi hu ni say e normal ese de me ko akire. Na emom mi hu ni say eya na mo ho ametu ye nti na ama noma we nyina beba no na banso dia na chese bibi papa ekoso mi ye bibia ebia ehye oman no crying but ebia o adikamfo bi nso omo ho no omo nso hu se anhwa na ade we abetu omo afiri omo pakan so enti enu nso ka ho enti na mehu se ebia wo friend attack me de me hu ni se lessons and lessons are meant to be learned from.
How sikasem?
Oh, sikasem de we there how ya yire kra ha yesikasem yamba ha sikasem no nyese bia ubenya na tare ho sa so nte anase bi mbeka ho eno de nyini se eya de a yesuro ni kese kra. Okay, ena obi osuro sika nso sika ne be free ni nchen enti enye sika na asem senka yesika asem a enka minja sika pe se me ba be di eman so eman na oba be di so no wunim se yesika na esesa odi behiem wunim sa pa nso se no ma waka nyina sisi ayi ye betimi dia how enti nye sika asempe me de me free se wo ba wiase na otimi ye bibia ebeboa ewiase ebeboa nature ebeboa edom nipa human beings na se wuwu na wokwa me de wusunsum kra no me believe se wusunsum ho ato no ye bo odin so a ye bo odin pa. Okay. So ubanso no wantimi anya hwe nso a eye the same nti normal sa no na inspire me more.
waka sɛ wona wɔyɛ the new IMF for Ghana. Na sɛ woka sɛ wona yɛ the new IMF for Ghana. Na kyɛ sɛ Ghana sika sɛm nyinaa wona wobɛsiesie. Ɛdeɛ na ma wonya akokoduo ka sɛ wone the new IMF ɛde ma ɔman Ghana.
Oh, sɛ mehwɛ sɛ ne si a Ghana fo sika sɛm ti a. Me a metimi hu sɛ yenim sika kora. Yenim sika pɛ. Yenim sika hwehwɛ. And Ghana for leaders ebi omo bekwa akɔbɔ bosia na omo de abetua road contract omo de betua salaries omo de betua na omo bebre and so yenim returns na every say sika ne mu eba na de bia no yenam ne e pa akyɛw fo sika me so menye obi a me free say me pa akyɛw fo sika me obi a me kura sika na me build nti me free say ebi a leaders ni bi wo hɔ a omo bae no
omo nim sika so hwɛ
anyeme nka sika so hwɛ omo nim sikano investing omu di tuaka omu mfanya investment ye di tuaka de obi aye contract road bi asan tutu no asan ma ne sikano na bi judgment debt na e bin so every month salary 600,000 people no ma gisa sikano na e bi adwuma omo ye no ye hu emfaso free so ba
enti den na wo de ye sika no be ye
o me de be ye investment
e dey investment
ne se me hu se 15 regions wo kroma mo fa hwe nsi ho 15 regions no so na kura the most resources e wo kroma sika e wo kroma e ye trillions enti eni se ye ko bi so
and then now say 16 regions no bibia no region bia o de o ye Ashanti region, Eastern region, Northern region bia o bibia o ye
so bia wo bibia o ya ese sika no circulate wo economy in ka de na afi ne ade ne wo problem obia obehun so wo ye bibi wo sa regions we nyina no bebre e ya bontin so ni nti sika no kura yen hu da
enu ti na o ka se Ghana fo anto ama wa wo be ba beto man Ghana
man ka ne sa da ma men ka ne ye nchiro me ka first of all me ka say I would create a million millionaires, and if I create a million millionaires and ask them for 10% of the million I've given them, if you times 100,000 by a million, it's 100 billion. Therefore, that value surpasses the GDP of this country, which is 70 billion. It means that the money I've made can actually buy the country. Now, man, it was a figurative speech. What I want to say to the nation is that the Ghana Web, any Pause Ghana, omudane message, you know, headline can say, if Ghana rejects me, I will come and buy Ghana. And not just they're making me look arrogant. Now me share mono. Now me share and I'm say UTV and publish here way. TV3 anye, EIB anye, My Joy anye. Nkofo mu ye 2 per Pause Ghana ne Ghana Web. Me ko hwehwe mu no na mu say that's how brofo na adi we ye omo dia. Enti omo tete baabi. And omo control yen. And to say obeka kire Ghana ni na oye adwuma ne say write this headline. Na Ghana ni na tro. Na ono ade say ni nipa. Enti me call no na me say no, I won't let them get away because we share the average Ghanaian. Obesro media no because the media no power.
Are you saying the owners of Pause Ghana and Ghana Web and a catcher or reporters and the editors say omonchro say Nana Kwame Bediako say obeto Ghana?
Okay.
So who was school? So who was school? Na say school no akura ba ku wom. Na so koku obi a obeka say enye school na ye na akura na nkasa na akoye. They will go to the school. They will hold the school responsible because someone says so putting measures in place for these things not to happen. And it is a Ghana Web and or the headline be about outer. Say from the director to then it is so the point I'm making is that brofo abroni and a Ghana Web na say this is our national news platform domain. Say Google anything about Ghana. Ehon na obekwa akosha asie free na ebekwa akohwe no obi akokora bi a wote Holland wodi almost 70 and now no server ni sini ho and now all controlling with narrative na mo say me se me pese me to Ghana me pese me kire Ghana for say there be enya sa na metie na emom no Ghana na nkasa o mo ka no ya ton because obekwa akohwe no gold no eye bronidia concession oil and gas eye bronidia
nti abrofo ato
me ba ukoshe bauxite ukoshe lithium Chinese water ukoshe cocoa yetie cocoa nyina yemfa nya hwe na abrofo no na abefa ni nyina enti point me say ya ban kra no aya abrofo dia because no more can etie na it's a time na so e be sisa no ma way
what you say Matthias
because abrofo no ma na ya do so dodo.
Okay, Asasi Radio actually say Cheddar owes 7 million Ghana cedis in unpaid taxes, document from JRA reviewed. And also no Asasi Radio no aban na hye nachi say onchro sa asem mfa ho ana.
Asasi Radio no me pese me bisa wasem. How long has it been a station? Because me share ABA despite group metima catch us say almost shall say ABA 2002. Me share 1999. Me share ABA my joy metima catch almost shall say 1995.
Yeah.
What I say metima catch us almost 22 years in the business, 23 years in the business. Me pacho una our industry we mu. Mr. Santana catch here Asasi Radio, how long has it been? And now for me Asasi Radio.
Kobe say 5 years.
5 years. 5 years on.
Aye.
And you bet you say current government regime ya no mobile. Say 5 years.
Yes.
Oh, you bet you bibisa. Now as some person me bisa on say Asasi Radio ono na ye tax collector na as a lawyer o krom ha na because me ready ade o mo twerɛ paper mu no o man ka say a tax GR no and ekase yo.
Documents
why investigation.
Also documents from GRA reviewed.
And teachers a GR and ankasa ank didn't come to me. Or no Asasi Radio no na what's wako review documents no na when you proof nti or babe what they babe to da. Na adia mi ankasa minti and free GRA 4 ano. Me work room 20 something years. I met you my taxes. O man ba me hoda. Me ka say me ba be si president. No, mo say me ba be jina for president. No, mo say 2013 to 2015 when to taxes be. Inti ye share penalties ni nyina e ba 7 million. Me dey asama me work an say. Say ebi Asasi Radio or a tax inspector. O me ni hu say ebi na djuma no nye radio no oye. Eno de beti na se but say onye tax expert nso na oye radio nso na opese bia is propaganda nso a oka ye beti na se
so ono de as a media firm they have cited a document or who document and based on the document now we who know and na odi asem no etudwa.
Debbie, let me correct you. When you cite something it's already ye dey atudwa dada edaho and na wako hu what you say but we dey osi wono na investigate here and or they brain with the proof. Entina me bisa o say na djuma nkasa ye den. Is he an investigator for taxes and I say because ye hwen so a wo hwe kra na anche bia no ye hu say tax commissioner no so e bia ono so ne retirement time aso from 60 years still another so ye djuma no. What you say enti ono kra na oba beje tax no no krano ebia mistake be on who krana Ghana phone.
Now you are talking like a politician.
I'm not talking like a politician.
Like a leader.
No, I'm not talking like a politician. I'm giving you facts.
What does the retirement age of the former GRA commissioner got to do with this tabloid of Cheddar 17 million?
And yet taxes are seminar okay.
Taxes, but it's in the retirement and
tax for them community mufi asem first. And son of Mabedi abontin so for asem first.
Okay, you have a point.
Because me correct no money na say now accuse we the citizens then they are right. But say if they are accusing the citizens and then they too need to be accused two wrongs don't make right.
Okay. Afe yambra kumase epono and also one issue abeje amanfo asubura ewo omaimu. Epono ebeda he yenhwe Kumasi Ashanti. Is it Ashanti region or Kumasi?
Oh, Kumasi.
Okay.
So Kumasi is part of
please
Ashanti.
Monfa mapono ento producer Monfa mapono ento ye the mapono beto Facebook online na yenhwe. So time wa wo kase ubeye omampani a ubeye epo ube extend C akukumase no. Na chese unansi bibi so why feasibility studies and I say unim form unim baby epo ne beda you know how you at the end about with trimu ama unya sa akukuduro no knowing baby epo da wa akra and na ohwe Kumasi eye landlock eye you know hinterland na wo betwe epo no ede akọ no enye se yesi wuntumi enye ana say ubeye pani a wuntumi enye a day na wugina so ebema sade we aye reality ebetumi abem.
Well, first of all, thanks to the sequential series of the New Force, because it's one of our series, and they're about our tamamo. Say they're now, I beg you, Tiana, but say now attention. Now, Usha, who Asantimaimu, and Suya Sembia, a diabosopa. Na ye krano, Usha history, slave na ye Lucy or Munano. And so Romudi or Mufaso Koye, and so you share Santimaimuno, then so be anywhere connected to Yassia baby or Mufaso the uncle for Koye. Ye tomb for a yahine or say to two. Ya catching someone cross the river, be no dare or more cross here. Ye trying it, and Tia didn't so dear, and so who are some. That's why we chose Asantimaimu Kumase to release that topic, because near him say by a very strong headliner or be a bit debatey about it. But let me tell you how possible it is and how important it is that in the past 100 years, which leader can you go back into history and research that you would tell me say he came to talk about water, except for Kwame Nkrumah, who came to build one of the first biggest man-made lakes in the world. Now no or the koya kusi Ashanti border oduro wan fan rem sata me no border na o just see ho no na eho ti say eho na ye bunu region. But ne bo Ashanti maimu oduru ono no stop yo anko Ashanti maimu na mi wu se Ashanti maimu me hwe map ne so a river pra hwe di akire river pra no ekwa kosi Cape Coast epunim enti ya na ye ndreje ye ena ye mbie kwan mansuo no mbefa mu because ye ni purpose for the nsuo. Now, Mimi who say if I'm an industrialist and my vision is to create a 16th regional industrial revolution, then I should be thinking for the logistics.
Can you key?
Me say me yobia me pese me be ye odikan foa me see 16 industrial revolution say me activate all the regions that ebeba be part of the economy of this country. And not just logistics infrastructure plays a big role in it, because it doesn't matter say how many or how much products that you produce. Say we need kwanya wo betwe afaswa ebeya asem, we need railways, we need so ebeya asem. Enti wo hwa say river prano say mimi bietuma na asem kra make man ka say me di po ebe free Accra na akokuma say ebia ne kasakwanya make say 100 million millionaires can do this, or make ka say if Ghana rejects me I will do this.
Okay, Pacho, ya di ato Facebook say o hwe map no Obehu say the boundary of Kumasi brim and pra brim pra ensuo a efa Kumasi no brim efa Kumasi Ashanti region o kakra eastern region and a pra enso called central region and a tano nso ewo Sunyani area na ni nyina yensu a efi black voter yewo Oti River yewo white voter na said yewo kae no o say enema mienu it's important and a possible important me no ye adwen say Asanteman esse omunya eye ensutade kese a yebetumi ede cargo vessels afaso, because Kumasi is the second biggest city in Ghana.
Apart from it being the second biggest, it's also the only region that is in the center of the country.
Okay,
it's connected to Eastern corridor and Western
corridor. The importance, we cannot question that. It's important. Say bibisa because ewo Kumasi. And no de me no ya adwen 100%.
It is say no what you say epobeti ma Kumasi. Through dredging,
important one. No, possibility na maybe so there be answer me was in twofold. It's important and it is possible. And I make us important me know ya adwen. I feel the possibility. Okay. How are you going to do it?
The possibility is dredging. Dredging is actually taking the debris.
So tinsu ni mu yanka ni twi no montiase.
Ube connecting so no ama other water bodies. Connecting so no ma other water bodies now. There is a mechanism that you put in the water that helps the water to distribute. Adia adibako ankofu bebre yusu canal one is part of the country's irrigation system and on the boa agriculture.
Me pacho the possibility na make no funding. and yet the mechanism. The mechanism, I know we have engineers. And Kroma AC the oil the Volta down. And Kroma no or call Kaiser for and or call Jessica. Aluminium smelting company Kaiser. Omo no mo be see and that what we call Vaco. Tema, your Kaiser flat. So when Nkrumah even had the vision of creating the first man-made lake, which is the largest lake in the world, as Nasiana China ABAB. Nkrumah did 1959, 1960. Onye miswadi hunu. Se Kaiser for dom man nisika enka won't minye. Agreement and Nkrumah ne Kaiser for ekoye ne se obemo mo eye bauxite from Awaso. Omode ye aluminium ewo vaco. Na energy na omobe generate from the dam no hydro plant no. Almost 40% at the ama vaco. Na 60% na that time our population was 5 million. Ni ye use na the bekano ya supply. So Nkrumah put down a plan. A strategic business development plan that convinced the Americans. And no man is sikama or the dam. Would you
dam
the lake and BBA say the dam was encapsulated in the lake.
But it's a separate project.
Yes, it in account to sika and now what the year. What the year will person will ye wukumasi? Where are you going to get the funding from?
Question now be Sameno. What's the answer?
Mesu benya we maintain baby I watch the source of the funding. But Matisa also be dreading soon. And no they say the mechanism we have engineers able to me ayejuma. But sikanu benya we.
I am coming. I want to say you've asked a question. I'm answering you.
Okay.
Now asema will be Sameno. And no one wants answer no. O catch them say Nkrumah nya sa eniswadie we no. Na onisika no. But o plane ye say na meye na meye say na menya sika na anase meni America for ni boma na mama ye. You see sa intelligence way na ye Lucy as Ghanaians say no ya adwene say bibie ni wa ebetimi aye age say obi akukuru sika na maye say yemfanye ansa na yetimi aye. Nkrumah nso wa anko keke say obi nkukuru sika ne ma no okoye no ne omu negotiate say wo pesade we misu me pesadi we na wo pesadi we dia mema o sei na wo so be yese amame e na onya ne ope e ma aman ni mu ba wo hwe ne kura na edie ben ne yedi voter lake no aye e da ho 20s of billions egunsuo nim ye nyusi ye connect ye net transportation was so
transportation was so.
Well, how is that giving us economic support?
Okay, so Gassem, for instance.
Gassem. Do you know the owners of Gassem?
It's Dutch and Ghanaian.
No, correct yourself.
Okay.
Who are the owners of Gassem? Or say Ghana Cemento. But I'm asking you, who are the owners? Ashanti Goldfields. Nema bisa o say na Ashanti Goldfields.
Eshasia we Ghana for. J.A. Addison. Ghanaian.
You're still not answering the question. But Gassem, men joining free hot. The young saw we say Gassem no. Why dear? A Gassem na nam river ne so a say your transportation was no. Me person who say both the Gassem and whatever transport and nam so no. You benefit from it.
Enya Gassem crap. Who can say transportation be anko? So na say Volta Lake in the transportation cost.
Look, I have a different vision for Volta Lake. First of all,
the transportation e cost uko empaka dine se see ameno ka say ya. E ho na cement ne iron rods do a ekobupe. Nefa enutina railway line na omaye from Tema kwakosi impakadan na omato aswako nti se okase transportation bi ankoso a it's not totally
me see we're not using it for national transportation.
That you are correct.
No, they were not. And you are trying to argue, say, oh, because so, and I may try, say, me so. No, and yes, sir, I want to educate you that idea koso hono is not to our benefits because that's meant to chrono a gasem. Nazikani ko broni bi krum. that dear chrono ABI Indian Ibidia. No, the only reason or this transportation link not to one is for their benefit. It's not to our benefit.
Enti trainer abai eye fitema edia ko eye empakadai akosombo babia dam ne wono eye to abrofo ne benefit.
But don't you think say bibia eye wo krom hanyina is to abrofo's benefit, because that is what they ask us to invest in. That is what they borrow us money and tell us that use the money to do railways and do here, use the money to do this road, use the money to do this. And if it was to our benefits, and can you crown case kanasa?
And it is a yaban munina omundring.
Oh, what the open song can say? Who bet me a can say? But maybe I'm a person mechanic.
Bibiani wa yaban abanina to our benefit.
You have to think about
not just a bibia ban ye bia to the benefit of our brofo.
Of course, and then another person may catch that one. Say ye media, a brofo control.
Really?
Maybe. Ube call Ashanti Goldfields. A brofo no matter what for bibi ho. And no try a gold to honor. No, my fire and grow for a year, Jumano.
And yeah, 2 years ago, no, so yeah, then Galam say.
I don't know what we took go to Galamsey on Sa.
And yes, say, assassin.
Oh, man, Sa Galamsey in Shagana for pay. Who share and grow for a free a crew for Frosso. Tabofuna say, my bat may patch on me bound. I buy your crew is wa or more year Galamsey, China for any other day. Then ya buy an ammo quite. Because if he wants to stop them, he can stop them. Say it to me, a shit tractors and excavators, caterpillars, Ghana for doing Galamsey. Dia. Nay, me one part say China for Bibri. Essay in soon, number. No credit, as I say, Udi no cre. So, Ope obi obedi or mine swa. Yes, so be they have a fair heart.
Okay.
And they want to deal with the truth. Media me free say. And no ma be brave. Ye will chrome her.
Okay.
Doesn't benefit the nation, but outsiders. The way you dear, as I say, you come watch them.
Okay. I find ye ba a ye wamemu. Dear ye kain yina ye mogu. Dear kain yina
mogu.
Ye didn't come. I find ye ba economy development. I find ye ba education. Maybe busa question.
Me can be about and so on. Ghana for Senyame ya madom na me bapawa ensuo ya ade ba akubia me pese me connect ma krom ha na wo connect nsuo a me pese wo hu se ensuo no wutimi use for irrigation for agriculture ebe improve your agriculture ebe improve your tourism ebe improve your infrastructure. Now aside everything no besides the water say you right to say you left to a hobbit me a new development.
Okay.
And in Sasefo from nyina ebeba omaimu ebema development no akonanim akosoro ade ameka no me pese mani hu se enye bone na meka enye enumdwa na emom no eye eni so botayade bia
eni so ade hu
me pese yes omani hu se si ya etimi pe adwene bi na ya etimi pe ya capital kakra bi ne ye de shaase na se generate ye income e de sika ba system ni mu ne economy ni mu a o dikafo so kro obeba odi machi no ono so ba obeba betoa so.
All right, so say yembra governmental policies wani so ade hu no waka systems ne structures ne wo yen hwede obey education ade en such a na de beba enwumasua mu
me hwe enwumasua mu Ghana ha me am so no na me ye 21 subjects and I also me call we hwa obeti mesua sa akosi so obedi 21 years. The 21 years of your life no we choose anoma we nyina guru trim history, geography, maths, English you choose ni nyina guru trim no wa choro na wa pass ni aboy ensama ma but ye wie pa ni eja omu a uni adwuma uni bibia geography no nim ni ade koye history no nim ni ade koye Christopher Columbus o mo church school ni history nyina no enya no na be too good enya no na be crowd koko enya no na be educate you around your surrounding. Inti me free say our main academic curriculum no through leadership we have to adjust it and let it suit our culture. It's a self fata ye it's in the CIA tena. Ayade ba ko woman ni super say enye education pe enoma bebre constitution kra no.
Ye beba ho.
Enu nyina no
but maybe specific to education.
Me yes sir.
Reform be na
do ba. Education no into hwe sa no ma we nyina na me hu say these are issues. Now here's my solution. Say, we have to find a way. Nkrofo ko school. O ma dwene nyom say school no mo kono ne maame ne papa etua school fees so owia no akonya adwuma.
So what reform are you bringing?
I am telling you. I think you're very impatient about
no,
getting
I have a lot of questions.
I prepare home. Yeah, when to me say piano off the record, don't worry, I'll answer you too.
Okay.
But me pesa me trese. So wo hwe ade a yesua na say it's about jobs.
Okay.
Na say adwuma ni ho dia. Any na education no e bia ye kono kwa. Until first of all, I want to create entrepreneurs through education. As I say, ye chere from the beginning, how to turn our cocoa seed into chocolate, into powder.
Where would that start from? Is it from the basic primary, junior high school, senior high school, or at the tertiary level?
Oh, I think more so between the senior and tertiary.
Okay.
What I say, because obi tertiary, you pushed him into the real world.
So a subject like entrepreneurship should be introduced into our curriculum.
I probably wouldn't say entrepreneurship, but a subject that you're also studying about the other parts of the world. Change that subject to study about your world.
You've answered my question on education. Entrepreneurship will be your major educational
reform. It is not just entrepreneurship, but also leadership.
Okay.
Also empowerment.
Next.
So we need to, I'm coming, you need to teach these three things in our educational curriculum.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship.
Yembra healthcare. Our healthcare delivery system said this is here in the rural areas we have cheap compounds. Then in peri-urban centers we have clinics, then we have polyclinics, then we have hospitals, then we have tertiary referral hospitals, or what we call teaching hospitals. Sana healthcare system no etie from inkurase inkunkituamu ediba kesiemu. Now so the healthcare delivery system no akwakoye say eye den kakra obi tumi yare wo de ne beko eye bi a Rich Hospital yesi empa ni ho akonya ni ho ade na mo amfa na nkomo community utumi kokolebu yesi there bi nkese say ye refer from a polyclinic and sanwaba untumi sorry emba because high teaching hospital oko inkurasi a traditional birth attendants and the kwaji a wo won krofo fie enomo ne ade our health is our wealth inti eden ne wani suade hunu wo hwe yapomudin sede etia the healthcare system no dean and such now the beba.
Before first of all, no, as I say, consider industrialization and no guarantee long-term employment. Problem ni healthcare system ewo kromano. And he say, we share inkurasi ukanya hospitals ni honi ade ankofo ko fie kwaji awoi. Say kurasi na no, say produce sika bia, na say factories bia ni ho, na say adwuma bia ni ho dia, na life ni ho. Inti uko si hospital kra ho na hospital no be kwa ezi say ese ohun nipa mobo keke onkofo yara ne do mko omuni sika no nti ese so osa nipa yare se government wo sika obetimi aye saade a ene onko si hospitals no honom na nkofo yare a onhwe omo for free but se we need dia you have to create an integration system. That integration system no na me preaching about industrialization. Uko bebia we wiase. So wo hwe bebia hospital sia. Ubunse bank is not far from there. Ubunse factories is not far from there. Ubunse school is not far from there. Ubunse normal bebre is not far from there. It's integration. Na sa integration no the main part adia omo poten omo ye osa area ho a emani pa adwuma. Obi ho a obetima atena area ho no obeye adwuma for the next 20 years. Adwuma no it's a long-term employment relationship one adwuma kro no wo enti obetimi depend on no na odi ahyehye ne life. What you say $20,000 na ubenya in a year obetimi di bia life insurance then health na kakra so odi beko hospital bi wo ho kakra odi betua ne ma fees bi wo ho but ye wo 15 regions e wo krom ha say
okay
na say ye ni any industrial empowerment wo ho ubeka say bi a factory wo bekwa ko he na ye no su broni bi dia na office broni no so factory e wo afijase a na wo de sika na free factory no ba be si hospital amagana there be or twe pie enti me
the industrialization revolution
it would help to be able to build more hospitals because it will circulate the revenue and create avenues for revenue. Na normal way nyina ahya se nyini kosoro.
Corruption and governance. how would you tackle corruption and governance? Saying our memu be ubefa ministers is saying saying or governance ebeye.
Okay, and no money be hoa. Say me kase metrana makajo say I would take 15 ministers and I said 20 ministers. I'm not being smart and intelligent. The plan to get there is more important, and I'll give you an example. When Moses was taking 600,000 people with him, no one himself or but one say a plan ben a medibe fence would and son Udru na they became so stressed and aggressive to find a solution. No solution ni buy. Nti me nim say currently no adia Ghana NCB da ewa ha ebinsi da eye say obi aba wetimi interrupt it and I said disrupt and I said dissolve the existing duopoly to enter the system to change things. What I say now it's some reni drua. Meaning that say corruption can only happen if you don't have value. Now I will explain that to you, Mr. Santana. So ukwa brochira and crofoni bi wa yetu almost $30,000 together in a year. Sa eno ena ni mortgage wom. Eno ena ne car rent and I say high purchase wom. Eno na ne mba fees wom. Eno na ne bibia wom. Na sa akwa we a wonya ebia 30,000. So obi ko jina nanim na o ka se o man bribe for £500 and I say £5,000. I bet me I say 30,000 na ni dan auto and then the car and then the ma show mu ma. Onye into the value no amano. The value is the line that it stops you from corruption, because when you have value for yourself, Grana, you don't want to be corrupt. Akwai say wo kokachre sofo se wonko wiade. On the value no say this is what I preach, this is what I do. I can't do.
There are institutions as I say Shena stemming the tide of corruption, like the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the Economic Organized Crime Organization, YOCO, the National Investigation Bureau, the CID, and so on and so forth, whether public or private. These institutions are there. Do you think, sir, is it duplication of function? Now, yen centralizing in and now you think, sir, it's enough?
I don't think so. I think the problem is supervision and monitoring. When you're putting money into people, utriangro foka, it's all share. U supervise you, ukofa watchman, so umbeda ufia, is to protect your gate and your house and your family in the house. So 1 week, wamba nasa wun supervise na wunhua. That means say sikano went ya and because we're jato ho, but we're jusika. And to me, if it's money, no supervision niha, monitoring niha, reports in niha, and the ama accountability no is nobody is responsible for it. Nanka nya asema and ko bibeti me nya asema organa ha akọ report ama police. Na oni pakrona wanya asem no onu mom and a police for watching no aji bibia free no na ne waya asem nanka sa no police for protecting no. Say your man will say kasi a supervise sankrofo we nyina na we put them in check and put them in place. Sa normal basis.
Security and foreign policy. Ghana a member of the United Nations or UN Security Council. United Nations organizations be bring Ghana eka enti eba Ghana ni jina bre ewo UN edimu yipa. O share the current war ekosu between Ukraine and Russia. So we be your mampenia. This foreign policy, Russia invading Ukraine, say Ukraine omo mine and san omo independence and intino omo take over omo land omo job omo kwan omo form hun kobo NATO. Ukraine say ye independent ye je ho ye tie ho ye ma wo kwan say we government and our government our power or representative as I say ye to aba ewo UN otoma oman Ghana ni vote no ebe kwama Ukraine so munyomo independent sovereignty and now say Russia for enkoje omasase a omode ma Ukraine for dey nanka o policy ni be
it me free say it is a headlines here and krofo akwa na me church move between Ghana Web and Pulse Ghana omo headlines no but wohwehwe mu a eye den ade nanka se siye e ho na se ye dweneko na eye Ukraine asem and a Russian so asem. But who can UN is peacekeepers. Omo no mo sorti war ni ade. And so show Africa ha no mo war. Omo Ukraine. Gaza na ohi. Omo bi. Israel na ohi. Omo bi. Munko ho na munko patanto kanu. Se mo ye peacekeepers. Munya mo adwuma. What in am chairman say me pese bi hu black and white troops e wo ho no ma omo ye adwuma no. Na nye se mo ba be bisa me di me man so e wo me krom. Se me be decide for Russia and Ukraine. Omo kuku omo ho. Na me na me ka tro so omo kuku omo ho na afi na mababe ma answer no. E te se Ghana 40 mi dwuni ko akire. No omo se no ma bi wo ha e headlines ye adwuni di agro.
Nti emfa ho.
Anya se mfa me ho. Nipa na omo wu no ha me na ma tro se nkofo mbetimi assault na nkasa no. Omo bebre ne ho na omo de omo ni ho.
But we a member of UN.
Me a member of UN say me pese me ka tro say me a Ghanaian.
No,
UN na di aduane ma me di.
Ghana is a member of the United Nations.
Fine. Or they can be a member of the United Nations, but now let's deal with the citizens. And no dey din keke ne dey atare so. Say Ghana, we a member, we no assign anyway. But no kremu asem ne say. Enne wo hwa Ghana for your economy a crash ni ade. UN for akukuru tika bia bra ye say mo ho kire mu ntimunje. ECOWAS for krana yes wo no mo ye the pillar of economy of West Africa. Omo no mo gina ho the whole West Africa economy nyina no egu broni na egu no e na ono so broni no still a wonya wo minerals wonya wo nipa no ko e na wonya wo gold ko wonya wo oil ko obetra ho no wa ye o sa atena ho ba no kuro no asem na na ye ka ho
obedwen wo ho ana obetwe wo ho afi
me mindful ho na omukora no se duru baby na se bi omukase
into UN representative no na eba se ye vote obeka se me president se me mind de ye mfa ye ho
se me ko kantre UN se ye mind de mfa ye ho na no ani se me di me fi asem enu na hia me nkrofo kom de omu ni adwuma omu ni se na makoko tena baby se me ba be vote for mo omukun wo omukuku omu na se ye mistake no ma ye no omu di kuku omu no yenso ye tena se. Okay. Na say yes mistake ni bia wo no bi ba si ha ye nyina ye bedwane afri Ghana.
Okay, yambra climate change. Climate change. So that we can me busa a question
is westerners for how I don't know what say here kasa let me tell you. It's the first time I'm coming here and it's the first time I'm sitting with you.
Yeah.
I think you're very clued up about this world. But I want to see today what are your main important as you are okase uyobia you influence nations because a good say ye behwe ewiase nyman mu nyina asem na mom ne hia ne se ye betua no ma bia firi gom ho a ye hu ne se a mistake na dia correct ye hu.
Now you said a lot of things that our country is in the hands of foreigners.
Yes.
Everything. So when I ask you this question, it leads to some of the answers that you've given me. And probably there are follow-up questions because of some of the responses that you've given me.
Sure.
Na ehefa ena ye situate asem no pote because yen to me enkase ye ma hoho ma mu me ye adwuma
man kasa anso
manonsi because as a member of the United Nations, we have ratified a lot of agreements. Ya sign to so uba na so uba betwemu a ebe de ene kofo sorry anomo de omonema eba ha because Ghana joining the United Nations Trade Organization. It will be able to meet the niema ba no na niema free amana ne nyina eba ha enkofo ba eba ba ye adwuma we eye apam we pama ye president no assign it means so man pani bia ba yes o ma be sign bilateral agreement eye baako eye document e bi ko parliament e ma parliament e adopt agitum bebre yakoso it is a mibusa sa questions where eye eniema aye mra aban atwamu nyina abeye ahyehya to ti mibusa de wo ba wo be differently se wo betwamu se wo be sesano se den na be that is the question.
Ne hia no as say sesano
which one?
Yes, me ubisa me question now one specific inti let me answer your question for you because so we are specific on something but be me free say asama wo kanyina wo si abrofo o mabakrom ha o me ne yaban abesin sign no ma da ho aban no kese eno so na se o mudi pese me bisa o se ye yenso ye leaders no ye timi fa plane ekọ America ni Europe ni ekọ instruct o mo se musumun sign sanoma we na mun di so ansane amamo oil anase amamo gold yentimi nya bi enti say ye begia tum say esese broni ba ye krom ansane oni abesane agreement bi ana ya gia tum ansane ya kra ye mind dia na ye mistake because ade a wontimi nya no memma obi emfa nya anase ade edidiwa enya wo de no memma ye mfa ndi wo nkrofo na anyebia no ye ni sa power na we have to find a way to resist in doing it because ebia ye ko sign a paper bia ye de ya ban na yakọ sign you but obekwa akohwe no na nipa 33 million ena omo bre ewom na nipa ba ko penso ena obedada ho ema wo sign ye na adenti na sabrofo ya omo hye white suit omo hye blue suit ni white shirt ni red tie a omo ba ye kromi adenti ena ye mo omo ba ye adwuma wa ha adenti ena adekura o pese o ka kire se nyansa wom no enti yen sign no ade no no ankasa embe ye adwuma no wa ha ma ye hu se adwuma na wo so kwakoye wa ha na se mra na wo de yesi no ade na wonye wo mikrom na mahu se eso mfaso ni na emom no wotwanya na aban bi ba na wa bedada no ne na sign na wo hwekura emremu the constitution of democracy worldwide that has to be constipated or embedded on nations should have a neutral conditions for humanity because that is law. That is a judiciary system and a legislation. If by human rights we have to have equal shares, it's called equity, your benefits and equality. But you need sa ewo Ghana ha, you need sa ewo Nigeria, you need sa ewo mind bebremu. Enti ubekwa kohwemu no enkrofo bebre sign no maybe a government with another government. Now pa kohwe law ni constitution say government and another government are supposed to sign business say me babe too good and I say me babe ye way so no ma bebre wo ho a ya sign ya ebia ye ba anase nipa wo power it is so hwem and no be na make us say monitoring and supervision it's our biggest problem. We have the institution capital, but we don't have leaders, the right leaders who are supervising it, who are monitoring it, giving us report so there can be a good accountability. It's state revenue and state capital and state resources. It belongs to the citizen. Enye abain dia, eye omaino dia, say you will go da, eye omain dia, enye abain dia, enye party dia, eye omain dia.
I've heard you, but my question is Ufa ye minerals na ya sign emra ya sign and yes sabio abrofo no ye ti ono mu na o ma beji ye gold wo boase e no mafa o befa ye mineral concession e wo o mo be negotiate ye e na ye ton ye e na o mo to ye e no mu tuaka o hwe ye oil a ye discover oil no crampo no enye ye mpo ni discover obi na be kire ye say you have the oil in large quantities ewa we
pay them to come and do the seismic for us and ye hu oil no and ya nkasa nyansa ye use nti ye ka kire sa nkrofo na omo ba hu oil no ma ye tu omo ka say na mutu a mo pesen omo se ye be fa 19 amount 10 and ye say
Hi, my name's Hannah, and I'm here to show you how students can use Otter to make lectures and campus events more accessible and inclusive. As you can see, Otter uses AI to create notes for in-person and virtual lectures in real time as the lecture is happening. Otter's real-time notes provide a live captioning-like transcript, which can be super helpful for students that may have accessibility needs. Because Otter runs in the background on a laptop or mobile device, all students can be more engaged in participating in the lecture, knowing they'll have automated notes to refer back to. Students can make highlights or comments about important things a professor said, and they will appear in the takeaways panel for recall later. Let's dive into an example lecture. This is Oceanography 101. Otter creates an audio recording, writes the notes, and will capture any slides shared during the lecture. And now students can ask Otter's AI-powered study assistant, OtterChat, questions about the lecture. Some examples might be, what are the key topics from this discussion? As you can see, OtterChat will create an overview of the key topics covered during this lecture. Another question you can ask OtterChat is to give me a multiple choice quiz and hide the answers. This will prompt OtterChat to create a quiz based on the day's lecture. You can also ask OtterChat, did the professor mention what will be on the test? OtterChat will search through the transcript and find any time the professor mentioned what might be on the exam. Students will get answers instantly based only on an AI analysis of this lecture. Thanks.
It's not about the money.
And money being all the same.
Whoever did this, we're gonna sort this out.
Whatever you're keeping your mouth shut for, better be worth the part.
Okay, FM 101.7.
Now, Honorable Carlos Ahinkra, I am MP for Tema West. You don't know what you drink of. Honorable Mimwache.
Yeah, Bunu.
Nabago, dear.
Hey, that's it. There's a gem and I will call.
Yee! Debia, Mimeno. Yes, I'm Yanam Befrewa, Bewanze, Uber Life with TV. So,
Yana, go. Yeah, mind yourself, Kakra or TV.
Yeah, Bayan day. Kakra. Now, it didn't cry. I wasn't confounded anymore. I'm saying, or the air manual. And I'm saying, oh, you're a mine. She said, oh, you are my ye. And your friend, a manual. Now, a check Minister of Flag Bearer, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, will be running mate. Now, wow, but yes, say, we, say, you are bar, say, Ubatia, no way, swaba, here way, as soon as see Ubatiani Wayaba, yes, as a so free region way, Ubatian Wayaba, yes, so free way, Ubatiani, see youth. None of that crowd that the Ashanti region, youth, no, Wamaba Bontin said, oh, Wamudema, Wangasa Unia, a year, Nepo Kunapo. Na ebiso aba da bi yeso de ne enka ho na we mu de aba na we de aba we si we fama we ni fama we since when na sa running mate yie no ekoda na ise nipa bi atwero ho krata de ba bankesie mu se papa yiwe maye we si yiwe maye we anyu aye we ni sa tradition e kripu babura mu da ben
You Kwame William Medasina say watch me on the spot and pay was something. So many authority on this topic, but at the end, yeah, me fan say MPP ni bia party that I come so there. Hano and I say here no nti. We be say there mame en kabika kara men chema jin kwame. Say ne udi kan ya MPP hu bibi say that. The yebeko about to announce presidential candidate. na nkurɔfoɔ ɛda ho yɛkanyɛ sɛ campaign sɛ mo lobbying is different. Open campaign na we group we na we nipa we na just obia eto any hugumbi. We can party in a certain way. Na ma Blackberry and so pressure unnecessary pressure baba dana so. Ye who be say that e wo party nim. President Kufuor Breso kaipa. Said ye Ali Mama. Nobody was even expecting. The pakwa na party ni da so no kan dance because of we nwet mamra ko fa o ko ni pa na pene so be eti ebuana onu nkasa esa yi sa ai we were engineering papa ya Ali Mama out in the buyer. Yeah, nobody was expecting, nobody even knew how he considered that a friend is saying, but it was his choice. And by constitution of our party, I no and as a choose nipa or pese on the running. President Kufuor. I don't think that the first choice was Dr. Bawumia. But I consider nipa minukra po and sana finally all falling on Dr. Bawumia. I don't know even if there were more people, more than two. Because in the Adi Ali Mahama and Boniface. And at that time, no one who say, Obia Babontes over the campaigns of the vice president. Now we have to do that group we are not waiting. Now we see a week, where's the region here, where's the fantasy.
And now, a more ba oh, Fawaya, where did my party for Nibidi? Say, where dear? Oh,
yeah, me and sir. We are Sacrano, 1 year careful. Let me pano more campaign later Obaba overshadow presidential candidate. Because the popularity in the groupings are what it and answer for support on the one. Nama Moya who didn't be asking presidential candidate now or no as or no select to my paper one. Meanwhile, I won't have a buano, and you know about boy. But
and Yansu say, Ebia, one more tree flag bearer, and I didn't say, Papa, Ebia, and I won't share her. As soon as see now bentin we know ebeboa yem party for no aboa ebi okra na won beka oh party no waboa pa yenko fasi camera wonie woni won aboa mo scholarship nie wonu a yenko fasi camera me party wonie enti se oyi no a dodo no anso ebedi nachi atoaba amamanyuku no eno so enti bi mmem saa
Kwame na wo kire wo de me so be kire me de o so be kire de we kire de a Sani ina ye church leko. Obi wi ni pedu. Obia ewo the strength group bi ababeka se yemfama we na yemfama we. One ade ma no. Na the reason why make us we keep party in say ye popularize ni papa akwa ni pa bi na miensa na 9. Sa de kwa na se ko ba na se presidential candidate na mfa mani pakro ni da so a. E ma wonu mo support no o ma bebubu. If you want to call a party, and answer, more as on the buano, a coffin. Put it for any two for no idea. One way a boom ding and as only about a go for ye the day can send me a yigna. And nay, said Dr. Bawumia, a balance with the dean balance a new mubia. Our supporters now, edited by how they feel. They would certainly be disillusioned.
Sure.
And I know so bad, part of the grassroots, a Febi, a weekend. And the young side and my papa no presidential candidate no the opportunity to select the power pay. Then you know you know out of the blue, other way could be expected to be any other boy and do baby as a party. I know say on one young same any limited Nipa or the baby and the vice president ever one. Yenya way for free, even free region way, even free hand, even free hand. It doesn't make any difference. Obi Krakasa Okai, the vice president, you don't bring anything to the slot. Nipa na year tone on, Nipa no dear anymore. Or no, I want doing a deco election. And the woo vice president, no, young Capricrano, where the crave ready anymore, and I will support us, and that's one more, Omuji would be an Omujana Fano, a did deeply. Nipa no dear anymore, so any day. So, I think the problem be so free. The fact that Yamana Cheredo. By this time, I said, we had that. Sent a year in and to pum. Papa, 2 and 2 no can if I crop a neck transit and get pretty as speaking. say pressure is becoming, more and more and more on him as we wait, as we go along. So the same thing happened in NDC 4 times. A president at a baby crop. Now, me the currency, a selected Irajo Mahama. I mean, perfectly well as a Ghana for him say, Rollins for them, so. In the down Kazo for years, I did we a work conference center. The time of the morning 9 at 10 o'clock, but 9 o'clock, no more, over the conference that started program, no, Papa, I'm a most fellow conservator, Rollins Rapid.
Wow.
I don't know pressure one you mean pay women pay you the other chebuko. So I knew perfectly well that not Rollins is no Mama the normal for Mutini. And that they are non better say Mama. So Papa na nye smart. I'm finding a simple one because it be pet. So be the pressure but to be so. Papa when I'm person in the call, about me you know me call. And Kabarista be sure say Kenny's wap to go and running mate. And it must say me a presidential candidate, Dr. Almia. I know so he knows who can complement the ticket, who can take us forward. Come for the 90 form. No making sure say anyone or more don't let anybody put pressure on you. Why? I don't know say the pressure too. So I don't know be sure baby abefa. When you know who can help you. And you don't say or so see never wow. That's also grow for the pressure too because grow for your campaign and continue. Necessarily financial offer. And as anybody could be pay or be able to choose you don't do that. And neck and they decide and as a penny or choice out of the banner. And I would urge a presidential candidate say and the money here how much no one in free sir Brunibeka Kwakmai sir a friend is I don't know how to even put it in tree.
Sad this way so.
That this way so. Because at the bed in Biabato, yes, so as MP4 and as a leadership of MP4. You didn't see a coping, see a Kudifa, and a chair and the chain. We should get this thing out. But when him say, National Executive, apart Nankasana has plans in place. Acha, and within a few friends saying days or weeks or so, no. As he is at with you. But one more year campaign, no more year today, Egika can send, as he said, the PBDS or no one manage the